2 helicopters from our company volunteered for a weird Cambodian mission. I and my helicopter and crew was one of them. American combat troops were not to enter Cambodia in 1968. There were mercenary troops working for us in Cambodia that needed resupply. I met a few Air America crew chiefs on CIA helicopters at refueling areas that did this resupply thing. They were making big money, they said, and that I should join them when I get out of the Army. Anyway, from what I understood, these resupply missions were very important, and that Air America Huey crews could not keep up with it all. So experienced helicopter crews were wanted to help them out. We had to take our dog tags off and make sure we had no identification on our person. We also had to take our rank and wings off our uniforms and paint over our Army markings on our helicopter. And if we were killed, we would be considered missing in action, MIA, and not listed as among dead Army troops. The MIA listing was the part I didn't like. None of us did. So we all wrote home that if we were listed as MIA, that we were most likely dead because of our flying into Cambodia. Who was the Army trying to fool anyway? We figured they were just fooling themselves. We picked up designated ammo, sea rations, and weapons that were dropped off to us from somewhere else and flew on our way. When we were close to Cambodia, we flew in at treetop level and by a smoke grenade found our landing site. As we approached, I could see all sorts of guys waving their arms at us. There must have been people from all over the world in that group of mercenaries, and they wore all sorts of clothing and carried all sorts of weapons. I think they pretty much lived off the land, but I really didn't know what they did. Once we landed in a somewhat open area, we were looking at piles of supplies that they must have dug up or captured from somewhere. They unloaded what we brought them and then started to load the helicopters from their pile of supplies. We checked out what they were loading. You cannot just blindly trust everyone in Vietnam or Cambodia just because supposedly they are your allies. There was a lot of ammo taken out, and there were wooden cases upon cases of glass vials of clear liquid loaded on my helicopter. I'm not sure what those vials contained, but they looked like they could go into a hypodermic needle apparatus of some sort. I figured that they contained morphine, but maybe it was methamphetamine or heroin. Why we just didn't steal some and find out, I don't know. All I know, it was supposed to be a secret find and we were told not to talk about it. Also, there were a lot of AK-47 rounds inside of lead canisters that reminded me of sardine cans. They could be stored by burying them or by putting them underwater. They were perfectly sealed against all elements and had Chinese writing on them. We had mortar rounds taken out too. I tried throwing them from the helicopter like bombs, but they didn't explode. We took out a bunch of brand new AK-47 weapons that were packed in grease. We kept some of those for trading items with the guys in the rear. We were loaded up and took off for, I think, Long Bin, where a one-star general and other officers were waiting to look at them when we unloaded everything. These flights went on for days. The mercenaries captured a lot of these kinds of things, but mostly the wooden crates of glass vials were of the most interest. I am pretty sure the vials were of morphine for wounded NVAVC. I liked the Air America kind of duty and knew I would apply to the CIA for Air America when I got out of the Army. The duty was a heck of a lot safer than what we normally did. We didn't take one bullet hole the approximately 4 days that we flew into Cambodia. I definitely liked that.